in the trap ain't playing, going up amazing. Take the loot we standing, or saving thrill, feel something unreal, lifestyle real deal. Gotta stay still, won't get the shield. We some players, in the trap ain't playing, going up amazing. Take the loot we standing, or saving thrill, feel something unreal, lifestyle real deal. Gotta stay still, won't get the shield. Been a minute, took an hour, but we back. Took that loss, we on the track. They don't know where we at, but we know where we stand. Only sipping on some yak or Ray Raw. All the nights we on the way for. It ain't over, just a start. We go hard, we can't do half. On the way to the top, just before we done unlock this place. We earned it, doing the most, we burning. Careless whisper, we going through, player, we trapping out. Bro with the pound, smell of the house, whole like wasabi, burning your mouth. Babe so wet, hell yeah, we surfing, my guy. My slimes we purging, on lurking, on scheming. Every season, you know the reason. Gotta go, we up next level, bros in the trap, might do some devil. Move so different, not for darlings, perfect timing to gain these diamonds. You know, we whipping, feeling the vibe, I know they liked it. Growing these bands, this too, they're trying, dreaming. Empire rise it. We some players, in the trap ain't playing, going up amazing. Take the loot we standing, or saving thrill, feel something unreal, lifestyle real deal. Gotta stay still, won't get the shield. We some players, in the trap ain't playing, going up amazing. Take the loot we standing, or saving thrill, feel something unreal, lifestyle real deal. Gotta stay still, won't get the shield. We some players, in the trap ain't playing, going up amazing. Take the loot we standing, or saving thrill, feel something unreal, lifestyle real deal. Gotta stay still, won't get the shield. Feel something unreal, lifestyle real deal. Gotta stay still, won't get the shield. We some players, in the trap ain't playing, going up amazing. Take the loot we stay.
I keep forgetting that the mic is muted, G. Anyways, let's see what's going on. I think we are live on YouTube too. We are definitely live on YouTube. Okay, that is nice. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to... Let me see if I can do it now. Pardon me. I forgot to change the... Pardon me. The thumbnail. Manage videos. Oh my god, excuse me. I'm currently dying. I'm finishing off my pack lunch right now. You know, I think if I had like 45-minute break, or maybe at least even a 1 hour break. No, a 1 hour break would be perfect. Oof, that is dark. Starting soon. Oh my god. We're gonna have to accept this thumbnail then. Okay, we're gonna accept this thumbnail. That's fine. Totally okay, mates. However, I just realized. Download it. Edit video. Let's see what the copyright issue is. This song is cold, by the way. Alright, so I've had to trim it out. We'll see how long that takes. We'll see how long that takes. But yeah, pretty much, guys, I'm a bit upset. I'm not upset because obviously I'm sticking to my plan. And it looks like we have missed out on... One sec. So the first one was this. So you can see here, gold managed to stay above this area, and oh my god, it would have been a nice area to buy. But yeah, anyways, now we're just waiting for the daily. See where the daily closes, but I think yeah, we're just gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to wait for the next daily close, given gold. Nasdaq, I'm still waiting for the entry to short. I think we might get it in the London session. Will I be awake? Who knows? GJ, we're above this 19999. Alright, I said 19999. 199. So potentially we could push up, but I'm gonna wait for the second candle to close, and then we'll see what's going on. The second 4-hour candle to close, because right now what we've got is the daily. Below the line. So nothing is confirmed yet. Other than that, chilling. We're gonna get started with the pattern recognition spreadsheet. As soon as I finish eating, because I can't lie, I'm hungry. In the meantime, we can continue watching this. So, just to give some insight on where we finished. And yes, the audio is not going to be good, I get it. Oh yeah, so I was saying that he was about to start talking about like the best parts. And he was about to say something that just made me feel like raw. This makes lots of sense. Let me try to connect my audio device again. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, then I might have to buy a new interface, and that's gonna cost lots of money, unfortunately. If only I can get one for free, mate. Yeah, it doesn't connect. Yeah, for some reason it doesn't connect. Mm-hmm. It's mad, I can't even find the audio drive on here. Yeah. The thing what I'm thinking is, if it works on my Mac, why doesn't it work here? And I've downloaded the most recent audio drive. So it doesn't make sense, but let me try this. Monitor and output. Alright, bet, let's try this. It's not working. Oh my god. Okay, let's try global settings. Desktop 2 disabled. Let's try this one. Mac auxiliary. Alright, so this is not. This one doesn't work. Let's delete you. You're going. Okay, let's try another source. On video audio. Capture desktop audio. Okay, let's try. And call it this, yes. Device. Speaker. Use device turns down mix to mono. Monitor and output. Okay. Now let's see.
I'm not gonna lie, yeah. This bit that he's gonna talk about now it's just I don't know when it's going to be.
Perfect timing.
Okay, it's not working. But so anyways, we got to the bit where he talks about how you should basically build great relationships with other men, because that's how you'll get women to attracted to you, because women love men that are respected by other men and loved by other men.
Appreciate where you are in your life right now. Well, the universe is very kind. A common thread in this conversation is about becoming a person that other people are attracted to, whether it's men or women. Yes, exactly. So rather than desiring, this is what pisses me off about the law of attraction. People say, I want. I don't give a fuck about what no one cares. Surely it's better to become the thing you want. Like, if you want money, become investable. Exactly. Then you get money. If you want a good woman, become a good man. Exactly. It seems to be a thread that we're... No, it is a thread, and it's something that Andrew and I preach constantly. We've been preaching self-improvement ever since we first got on the internet, you know, in between our inappropriate jokes that, you know, keep getting played 10 years later. But we've always given a message of self-improvement because I think that's the way we've always seen the world. Yeah. 2 mixed-race kids on a council estate in Luton statistically have no chance of ever... I mean, owning your own home would be a great achievement if you were born in those circumstances, let alone building the empire Andrew and I have. So we just knew that we had to be better than... We had to outgrow our environment if it was ever going to change. And now I'm here in Dubai talking to you, so it obviously worked. Thank you. Is self-improvement... Is there a problem with always chasing to be better? Does it make it harder for you to appreciate where you are in your life right now? Well, the universe is very kind, and the universe often knocks you back. And I think those moments are very necessary.
Oh, it's this bit.
To understand that I was flying in a private jet. A few days later, I was opening Christmas presents with my daughter. 48 hours later, I was in a prison cell. I'm like, did I really appreciate that as much as I should have appreciated it? You mean when you were opening presents? When I was sitting in prison. So life occasionally knocks you back and makes you understand that you should appreciate what you have. I think a lot of people can be spoiled if they're certainly born into wealth or influence. That can spoil people.
Yeah.
But the world is a cruel place, and it's a beautiful place. And I can tell everybody listening, as a matter of fact, within the next 15 years, something terrible is going to happen to you. Absolutely, that is what's going to happen. Someone you love's going to die. You're going to get injured. You're going to have a car crash. Something bad is going to happen to everyone in the next 15 years. So these events knock you back, and self-improvement isn't just about, trying to be better and better every single day. It's understanding that if you're not improving, you're shrinking. I trained this morning. If I didn't, and I didn't train tomorrow, and I didn't train the day after, I'm not just maintaining where I am. I'm actively going backwards. You're an investor and a businessman. If you took a week off work, you haven't just maintained your position. You've spent money. You've gone and enjoyed
What
yourself.
he's saying is facts.
You've actively taken steps back. So life is a journey where you constantly have to be swimming against the tide, or you get swept away.
And you know where the trap is here? The trap is when you don't do what you're supposed to do the first day and everything seems okay. This is if you're even at that point where you're in this moment in life where, for example, maybe you don't go to the gym, or you don't I don't know, you don't clean your bedroom, let's say. And maybe not clean your bedroom, something that you do every day. Maybe like brush your teeth or shower. So the first day you think you don't do it, and you think, oh yeah, everything's okay, right? And then the second day comes. The trap is when the second day comes and you don't do it again, and you don't feel any type of way about it. That's where the trap is, because then you think that it's kind of okay to do it, to not do it the day after that, and then pardon me, it starts to go into like a snowball effect. So yeah, like if you don't get frustrated with yourself, if you don't complete something on the day you're supposed to complete it, or you do something like an everyday task, like, yo, you better be mad at yourself and make sure that you don't allow this to happen again. Because what he's saying about it will just get worse and worse, you'll just get worse and worse, you won't maintain, is facts. It's facts.
And I don't see it as a choice. Yes, you have to train every morning. Yes, you have to work every day. Yes, you have to make smart decisions.
Facts.
Because if you don't, you get sucked back by the tide into this pool of everybody else, where 90% of the people in the world live, because they don't understand that basic.
The tide.
So anyone who preaches against self-improvement, you have to have either the perfect life, the best genetics, and be in the best shape just because God blessed you with whatever, already a billionaire, no need to work, everyone in your life loves and respects you. You have to be the most knowledgeable man in the world and know everything, having read every book that humans have put together. Then you'd be like, yes, I'm stupid. But only once you've done it.
But those people are never happy though, are they?
No, they're not.
Like, name someone who's achieved that panacea, and there's a nagging need for more and challenge and chaos.
So you can either be unhappy up there or unhappy down here. And most people are unhappy down there. And I've been both.
Yeah.
And this one's better.
At least try that one. At least get to the good one and try it. Stop bitching about everyone that's there.
That's what
Go try it.
That's what Andrew famously said to some guy who reached out to him saying he was going to kill himself. Andrew said, get a six-pack first, then kill yourself. He goes, what do you mean? Just get a six-pack,
Damn.
1 or 2 meals a day, thousands of crunches, squats, push-ups, get a six-pack, then kill yourself. I don't care. Which you want. And the guy got in great shape, almost had a six-pack, down to like 16-17% body fat, looked great, and he said, Andrew, you saved my life. Why would I want to kill myself? Everything's great. So yeah, you have to you have to try to reach somewhere higher up before you say, this is it, I'm just going to look down from here, look down on everyone else. But most people don't get it in life. And, you know, this dream that everyone's going to be rich, or your time will come, or everything's going to work out for you is completely false. And most people are born broke, they live broke, they die broke. And then if they have bought a house in their life, inheritance tax comes and takes it away from their kids. So that's most people's life cycle. So when I sit out here, you know, telling people to try and do better, you can look up from, I won't say the bottom, you can look up from where I've been and say, Tristan's just stuck up, and Tristan's, you know, preaching all this stuff, it's alright for him, because he's got X, Y, and Z. Or you can understand that I've been where you've been, and I know it sucks, and I know it's hard, but you have to do something anyway. Self-improvement is the cornerstone of every successful person. I've never met a single successful person who isn't trying to get better at the very least at what makes it money, let alone everything else. Yeah.
How do you inflict the perfect revenge?
I'm not a very vengeful person, Rob, believe it or not. I'm not a very vengeful person because I think true vengeance, if you really wanted to hurt people legally, you'd have to be very petty. Obviously, you could say go shoot them, for example, but we're talking about what you can do.
You'd end up in prison,
exactly.
so that would be perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What can you do within the confines of the law? You could mess.
So right now I'm just filling in my health log, and then while this is playing, in the meantime,
with people forever. I don't know. Let's say I hated some guy in England. I find out his house is rented. I could buy his house off the landlord for £10,000 over the value and make him move. Find his new address, buy that house, make him move. Find his new address, buy the house to the left and right of it, move a bunch of gypsies. I could do it. Like,
You said you're not a vengeful person, but this is good.
I've considered these things. I've definitely considered these things. But how much of my life do I want to waste? My amazing life to make someone whose life sucks suck a little bit more? That's the question. How much am I taking away from myself to take away a small part from them? And that's the equation that I always look at when it comes to revenge. Because these are all ideas that I've had about me. And I could do these things.
312 minus 22.
Yeah, I'm not very vengeful. I think the best revenge, when people have hurt me or upset me, or pissed me off, or ruined our friendship somehow in my life, has just been success. And people say success is the best revenge, but people who aren't striving to be successful say that. And then they'll like post a photo of themselves on vacation in I don't know, Bennett, or the £250 all-inclusive, and they'll be like, success is the best revenge. I'm like, no, because no one cares you're in Bennett. But the people who have upset me in my life when I was on my way up, and that I disassociated, really wish that they were in Marcel's position right now, Rory's position, Nigel's position. People who have stayed close to me, because everyone benefits when one of you rises to the top, as long as you're not. So, yeah, revenge truly is, success truly is the best revenge, but you have to actually do it, which very few people do.
What are the major red flags you spot in people?
I think the red flags I spot in women and men are very different. Very different. I'd say at the position I'm currently at in life, the red flags I see in men are certainly a fanboyish kind of behavior towards me. You treat someone like a celebrity, they're going to treat you like a fan. Especially when you're sitting down and you're having a serious conversation with somebody, just by chance. You talk to him for 10 minutes. Like, oh, let me call my friend, he's not going to believe this. What are you doing? Yeah. Like, we were having a conversation. That is a huge, huge red flag. I also don't like people, men and women, who are entitled. People who think that they deserve everything else everyone else has. So to give you an example, if I'm I don't know, hanging out with somebody, and I say, oh, I'm going driving tomorrow, and they're like, oh, but you've got supercars, I don't have one. And they're upset about it. Like, Rory will laugh and be like, yeah, well, I can't come driving with you because I haven't got a car. Like, he'll laugh about it. But people who feel entitled to what I've worked for, I can't stand. The major red flag in men is a man who's bad with women. A man who can't get laid. That's a huge red flag. I could leave. I was talking with my friend Justin Muller about this just a few months ago. I could leave, because the woman who has my kids is beautiful. I could leave her and my kids in their house for a year, and they wouldn't even so much as look up at her while she's walking from the bathroom in a towel. Not once. None of my friends would. Why? Because women like them and they can get their own women. When you have a guy who can't get women to like him and can't get women to speak with them, the problem that I found in life is they will confuse friendship with romantic interest. So if they've never had a beautiful woman talk to them ever, and there have been times in my life where my assistant, Georgiana, who's still my assistant, I'm not allowed to talk to her still, because Romania is insane, but she's a beautiful woman, and she'll pick someone up from the airport for me. For example, this is 8-9 years ago, and then the guy will be like, oh, I think Georgiana likes me. I'm like, I know she doesn't. She's actually told me she hates you. However, she's my assistant, picking you up from the airport, making chit-chat and being nice. They have so little scope and experience when it comes to females that they mistake romantic interest with someone being polite, and women just generally don't talk to them. So if Andrew has a beautiful girlfriend and she's in my house and you had one of these losers around, she'd sit and talk to them for 3 hours. Why? Because Andrew's out working, and women love to talk. So they'll talk for 3 hours, and then they might, make a pass at her, do something stupid. I've been in all of these circumstances in one way or another in my life, so I don't trust men. If a guy's like, oh, I can't get any girlfriends and women don't like me, what would be my advice? Especially when he looks like shit and he's out of shape and stuff, which he knows the answer to his question. I'm like, I can't have that guy around me. I have beautiful women around me in my house. My friends have wives. My friends have girlfriends. I don't need this piranha in my fish tank. So that's the major red flag in men. Women, there's loads of them. Loads.
Okay, maybe we'll come back to that.
Yeah.
So I've got something here that you've said. Andrew starts the fire. I just make sure we don't burn down. What does that mean?
When did I say that? I'm trying to think what I was referring to. This must have been
life, maybe.
Yeah. This must have been some years ago. Andrew is a master communicator, and a lot of people mistake the things he says because they don't understand why he says things the way he says them. There's a reason, whether you hate Andrew or love Andrew, that you cannot stop seeing Andrew everywhere. And there's a reason, whether you hate him or love him, that you know who he is, and you know some of the things he said, inflammatory or not. And a lot of the worst things that have been posted about me that we've said are genuinely, you could play any clip to me now and I'll tell you the context of it and make it seem a lot more tame. But Andrew says things in a certain way, and afterwards there's a level of sitting around thinking about damage control, which is fun. But yeah, it is fun. It is fun. But sometimes Andrew will be on a podcast and I'll be in the same room listening to him speak, and I'm like, I'll go back to jail. I think it's my job to keep a more level head than him.
Yeah.
He's sometimes like a bull charging at the matador.
Yeah.
But he catches him. He doesn't hit the red flag. Like, it's all positive and we always move in the right direction. But yeah, sometimes it's my job to. I mean, I'm seen as the calmer, often more reasonable brother.
Is that a true reflection?
Kind of, but Andrew's very calm and reasonable himself. And he doesn't have a persona. He's not an actor. What it is, let's say, 20% of his personality is hyper-inflated when he goes online. There's so many aspects of Mighty Andrew's life and who we are that people will never ever see. I don't want them to see it. So Andrew is who he is online. When he's online, he is who he is online 20% of the time, going about his day. But I think I am a lot more calm, and I do try to keep us out of trouble as much as I can, in the way that I'm the only person Andrew will listen to. Lawyers...
The only person?
Yeah.
Wow.
Lawyers will tell him, don't say this. Literally, you'll go to jail if you keep saying this, and he'll keep saying it. Like, he doesn't care. I'm the only person who can talk to him. So, in a way, it's a blessing and a curse to be in that position. Because sometimes it's not fun, but it's never an argument. It's just like, how much of our bottom line monthly is putting that particular clip on the internet right now going to get us? Because the answer is zero. You're about to go viral. You know why you've said it the way you've said it, and you know people are going to lose their... Does it impact our bottom line, positively or negatively? The answer is always zero, nothing at all. And then he usually ends up posting anyway, so it's fun. Yeah, it's great.
But surely at some point it was that kind of communication that blew you guys up in the first place.
Yeah, 100%. And we've now gone through the fire. I don't know what they're going to come up with next. I genuinely believe that the powers that be are losing interest in Andrew and I, which is kind of good. With Trump coming into power and so many other dangerous people to attack, now the media says Elon's a bad guy every day, and he's a Nazi, and he's an unchecked psychopath. They've kind of moved away. Back in the era of the Democrat-run United States and the woke mob being in charge of everything, Andrew was arguably one of the loudest voices in the entire world. Now there's so many, and a lot of them are very brave, very, very industrious people like Elon, and a lot of them, I will say unapologetically, are cowards. They're cowards in the way that they were not around when it was dangerous to say these things. Now they're on Twitter saying everything they want. It's like, yeah, I said it when I wasn't allowed and got banned on Twitter. You didn't. So everyone's based nowadays, but it was Andrew and I who certainly helped pave the way for this. So yeah, the communication style made us viral and made us famous. And Andrew's fantastic at what he does. I'm very much the subsidiary character, and I'm perfectly happy to be that guy. I've got lots of controversial opinions on lots of things, and everyone knows what they are, but I don't necessarily see the benefit of rubbing them in everyone's faces, and Andrew does that for me anyway, so it's fine.
So are you completely delineated in the roles that you have within your businesses?
No, and you know what, I've tried to answer this a couple times, and my answers, I watch them back, and they're never good.
Right. You just do what's got to be done. Is that how it rolls?
That's basically it. And people have tried to dissect that, and I've given answers, I've watched them back, and I'm like, is that really accurate, or is that really true? Well, this week it wasn't. So we just both do whatever we have to do. It's simple as that. There's a certain task to be achieved.
Yeah.
It's not like, well, you're better at this, you're better at that. Right. We'll just both work on the task together. I guess we're a team in every way.
And what's the hardest thing you've had to change Andrew's mind about or stop him from doing? I know that you don't have too much arguments, but the hardest thing where you knew, I've got to pull rank on this.
Often he has to drag me back from things.
Right.
So the first one that came to my brain was, and it was nothing to do with Andrew, it was me telling him that we need a super yacht. And him saying, Tristan, we're on house arrest, why do we need a super yacht? That doesn't make any sense. And somehow we ended up buying the super yacht. And we do need it, by the way. And he agrees now.
Yeah.
So there are minor disagreements like that, but it's never been like, Andrew, definitely don't say this or don't say that.
Is that because you're the younger brother?
No, it's because I understand that, and I no longer care anymore. I've been in jail. Everyone in the world is open to criminal investigations into me. My whole past, my entire life has been completely dissected by every federal agency. I don't think they're going to shoot me, so now I don't care at all. I don't care at all what Andrew says. But there were times in the past, certainly before we went to jail, where some of his videos I tried to, coach him out of saying certain things a certain way. And yeah, he never really listened. But I think he took it into account when those issues came up on videos and stuff. And I will sit with him and I'll say, when you're asked this by this guy, here's a very valid point. When this person brings this up, here's a very valid point. And I'll speak out loud and say answers to difficult questions that I think may come up. And then I watch him on interviews say exactly what I said to him.
Whoa.
So he takes my opinion into account.
Or you found a way to communicate with him well.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my God, whoa.
Exactly. And those are some of my biggest, proudest moments as a brother when I'm watching him. When someone comes up with the exact crap I know they're going to hit him with, and he says the exact answer that I was saying out loud in our cigar room because we were brainstorming. I'm like, okay, good, Andrew listens to me. It's never so much trying to hold him back, it's just always trying to be prepared for everything, and him taking the voice in his head, is mine, I think, a lot of the times, in the way that he doesn't care about anyone's opinion besides himself in terms of dictating his actions, besides maybe mine, which is a kind of cool accolade to have over somebody as powerful and influential as Andrew Tate.
And does he ever say to you, I love you?
We don't need to say it. Occasionally, I never say it back. We don't need to say it. No. It's a bit gay. I'm allowed to say that in 2025.
Well, you just have, so it doesn't
Yeah,
really
I mean, I guess
guy.
it's a bit gay. In jail. We're gonna get through this. I love you, bro. Maybe that was said, but it's not like, I don't know. It's a bit gay. All my friends know I love them.
I love you, bro.
Constantly, all I do is make fun of them.
And is that your way to show
Call them
love?
racist names. It's hilarious, That's the way male friendship works.
Is it really though?
Yeah,
I say I love you.
Well, I saw the truest meme in the world on the internet. It said, girls to each other's faces. Oh, I love you. You're so beautiful. You're a boss. Girls behind girls' backs. She's. It said men to men's faces. You're a loser. Nobody likes you. Men behind each other's backs. Actually, Robbie's actually a decent guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so true. And it's an alien concept to women. That this is the way that a lot of men communicate with each other. But yeah, my friends and my brother know I love them, and it's spoken in actions more so than in words. When they said we're gonna let you go from jail,
Actions speak louder
and
than
Andrew
words,
will have to
buddy.
stay longer. I said, no, I'm gonna assault a police officer, and I'll get stuck back in here, which is a true story, by the way. And I threatened the police officers. One of them, I said, you're the guy I'm gonna hit because I like you, but just know I'm hitting you, so you put me back. If this happens, that's greater than any I love you, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm a poet in actions, not in words.
If Andrew asked you to hit someone, would you just hit someone?
Immediately, I wouldn't even ask what they did.
If he asked you to?
Yeah.
You just hit them?
Yes.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to know why?
No.
Why not?
Andrew has very rarely ever asked me to hit somebody, and in confrontational and violent situations, the thinking time of should I do this or should I not is the time you could die. And I'm not interested in pondering about whether it's the right thing to do. It's there's been situations where I've seen Andrew hitting people, and they're in a group, and I just start hitting the other ones. I mean, I'm from Luton. I grew up rough. Certainly, there's been situations where I've been hitting people. Andrew just looks who's with them and starts hitting them. It's more of a survival instinct. I'm not interested in reason and compromise once things get to that point. If someone's walking towards us and Andrew says, hit that guy, I will hit him immediately. I'll find out why afterwards, but I know he's got a good reason. I know he's not sending me like some vigilante to go get himself put in jail because he disagreed with somebody online,
Yeah.
So yeah, I would hit somebody without question.
Right. And what's the sort of biggest threat, the worst fight you've both been in?
The fight against the
I mean, a
government
physical.
over maybe.
I mean, like a physical. Because obviously, there's a punch in a bar, and then
Yeah.
there's a proper fight.
No, it's always been punch-ups and bars.
Right.
Andrew and I, we were training our whole lives. We never got beaten up. We've never been like jumped and beaten up badly. Like we've always either escaped those situations. Like he's told the story 100 times about in Moldova when somebody hit me, and we kind of negated the situation and got out of there. But yeah, we've never been in.
And you'd be okay with that. You don't have to just go throwing punches to everyone. You could use your brain and think.
Well, in Moldova there was about 35, 40 of them. And I
Right.
was like, okay, this is unwinnable. So I started speaking Romanian with them.
Yeah.
Saying, look, man, I'm going home. I'm not a tourist. I'm just leaving.
Yeah.
And then half of them were kind of like, whoa, he's not some foreigner that we need to be up.
Yeah.
And we kind of like negotiated the situation and got the card. And
Right.
that was probably the closest Andrew and I got to getting our asses kicked because you can't fight 40 men. Doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
And who are willing to fight like these guys were. But if I could meet those guys now, I'd buy them a drink. Cool guys.
Yeah. Why? Why are they cool?
Why? Because they were furious that there was 2 Americans walking around their city with 3 beautiful women. They're from Moldova. These are beautiful Moldovan women. What are they doing walking around my city with beautiful women? They're definitely here chicks. And they were right. So, of course they're going to swing for me. I like that patriotism in them that made them think, there's 2 foreigners walking around with our women, let's go beat them up. I kind of respect that. Yeah. And I think the world needs a bit
I'm
more of
writing the
that
journal on my
hostility,
phone.
that xenophobia, that national pride. That was kind of cool. And if
That was a
they
mistake.
reached out to me now and said, hey, I'm the guy with the white BMW X5 who punched you in the face, I'd be like, cool, man, let me buy you a beer. I like you. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. But yeah, we've never been in that dangerous of a situation. We're pretty decent fighters. We grew up in the age before everyone had a knife. And we got in a bunch of punch-ups, but we always came out on top.
Yeah. UK versus Dubai. At least once a week, an entrepreneur friend of mine fucks off from the UK and
us in the UK, and there aren't many here. UK versus Dubai. It's a no-brainer. If taxes were the same, prices were the same, real estate was the same, quality of life was the same, but all England had was its crime epidemic. That's like saying beautiful Victoria's Secret model and beautiful Victoria's Secret model with AIDS. Which one are you sleeping with? It's that binary of a choice. Is it? Isn't it? Surely. You're saying there's a risk if I live my life in England and do everything the same. Forget taxes. Forget all of it. They're dangerous of a situation. We're pretty decent fighters. We grew up in the age before real estate was the same. It's a crime epidemic. That's like saying beautiful Victoria's Secret model and beautiful Victoria's Secret model with AIDS. Which one are you sleeping with? It's that binary of a choice. Is it? Isn't it? Surely. You're saying there's a risk if I live my life in England and do everything the same. Forget taxes. Forget all of it. There's a risk of death when I send my kids to dance classes? No thanks. I am not interested. I don't care how many runway shows she's done. Once I see HIV positive on that piece of paper, I'm not doing it. And that's England to me, in a nutshell. And that's an analogy I've used with friends and family, and I've given. And people, I mean, do you disagree? No. There we go. Like it's a very good analogy.
So you're not even far enough up the food chain to look at the taxes and
nowhere near. No. That's an example of everything's the same. Now we're talking Victoria's Secret model, who's a virgin with no sexual past and no risk of diseases, plus versus fat, overweight Geordie chick with bad acne and obviously fake hair extension, bitten down fingernails with AIDS. Like, we're not talking equal playing field, but there's
Yo, this guy's analogy is
there's
crazy.
one turd in the punch bowl. We're talking about a whole punch bowl full of turds against delicious fruit punch. That's what we're talking about here. So that analogy is very good, all things remaining equal. But things aren't equal in any way. So if you want to add the taxes and the prices, well, Dubai can be quite expensive. I don't.
Yeah, but at least you get to choose what you spend your money on. They take it all at the source in the UK.
Exactly.
But drivers here are really cheap.
Yeah.
You can basically have a load of people serving you for not much money.
I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do. And I like Dubai very much, and that's how black and white the choice is for me. When you moving?
It's funny because Andrew asked me that yesterday, and everybody here has asked me that.
And you're thinking about it, aren't you?
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Don't catch age, bug. Don't catch
Well,
age.
no, I mean that analogy is going to stay.
Yeah,
there.
think about it. Think about it. You just said, or maybe it was off camera, but you just said a 14-year-old boy, the same age as my son, had his head stomped in at a shopping center.
Yeah.
He can't go to a shopping center. The moment my child is old enough to competently catch a bus by themselves, they can go to the shopping center in Dubai. Once they're 9, if they wanted to, they can go to a mall by themselves and be perfectly safe. That's something you don't get in the Western world. We're talking about England, France, Spain's getting that way, Germany's certainly that way. It's gotten that bad everywhere. Romania is a fat, ugly chick who doesn't have AIDS. You know? It's nice enough, nothing bad's gonna happen. Wear your nice watch, drive your nice car. Sure, the infrastructure sucks, and, there's government level corruption that can screw you, like it tried to screw me, Alright, it's a fat, ugly chick with chlamydia. That's Romania. But it sure beats the it sure beats the one with AIDS. So I'd rather live in Romania than England, hands down. So
Just going to take it this moment.
I think these are perfectly valid analogies. I'm probably going to get attacked for this.
Well, no, that doesn't bother you, does it?
Oh, no.
No.
Not at all. It's fine.
Right, so I'm going to read something you said about the UK.
Go ahead.
I will never move back to the UK unless someone saves it from itself. It's a toxic environment.
Yes.
Why?
When I say saves it from itself, what I mean is the people there don't care about the country's out for the destruction of your country so badly. America also has this problem. But Trump came along with such an overwhelmingly positive message. He swayed enough of the American population to put him into the office, which means you can ignore the losers. The losers who want all the people crossing over the southern border, you can ignore them. Because you can't now, because there's the military there. It took, 1 hour to close the border after he became the president. It's that easy. And when I say I need someone to save the UK from itself, I look at the political parties before reform, because I am quite a big reform supporter. And I look at the Liberal Democrats, and I look at the Conservatives, and I look at the Labour Party, and I look at everything they say. I'm like, I don't even have anyone to vote for here. I don't have anyone that I can even vote for that will remotely start to undo the damage to England that's been done over the last quarter of a century, arguably longer. So when I say it needs someone to save it from itself, I mean someone with radical new ideas, who's willing to be disliked, who's willing to ignore the people who cry about stupid issues. Because right now England for me is just not a livable environment, especially when you're a publicly known person. I can't walk around London and feel safe and secure. Why is that? London should be the greatest city in the world. We had the world's largest empire. All of the wealth from all over the world flowed into one single city for 180 years. And you're telling me now if I walk down the street, someone's going to put a knife in my heart? And people will joke, oh, it's not that bad. It literally happens almost every day. It happens almost every day. And people who live in London will be like, well, I've never seen any of that. Yes, I know. London's got, 8 million people? But it does happen every day. It hasn't happened to you. That doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, if you went to Colombia and started sleeping with prostitutes and came back and be like, well, I didn't get AIDS. Well, you're lucky. but you shouldn't think that's a safe environment to put your whatever in, you know?
Yeah.
So it happens in England all the time. And especially my hometown, Luton, which is incredibly violent and incredibly run down. Until someone gets hard on the assholes who are trying to ruin the country, and someone comes along with a radical new idea, I wouldn't feel safe having my daughter or my girlfriend in England. God forbid you send her to a Taylor Swift dance class. That sounds like the safest day in the world, doesn't it? And we all know what happened with that retard, Axel Rudakabana. That sounds like the safest thing you could do. I'm going to work to provide for my family. What's your wife and child doing today? They're going to a Taylor Swift dance class. If you had to bet 50 years ago on the chances of a knife-wielding maniac putting a knife through your daughter's spine and killing her at a Taylor Swift dance class, you'd quite safely bet 0%. But the odds are no longer 0% in England. So how can I, in good faith as a father, whose job it is to protect my children, live in that country? Maybe way out in the countryside somewhere. Maybe with a bunch of armed security. But I'd rather just be somewhere where I don't need that. So I'm not moving back yet.
No.
We'll see what happens in the next general election. Go Nigel, you know.
You think he's got a chance, Nigel?
I wasn't sure
He crushed
until
the locals,
the council elections.
Crushed them.
And when I saw that, I was like, okay. After the last election, he got his foot in the door, and now the door's swinging wide open. As long as he doesn't fumble it, I don't like the arguments of low. I don't like it.
There's always infighting.
There's always infighting.
Yeah.
But if I was them, I'd have kept it all behind closed doors and said, let's just shut them up for 4 more years. You know, let's deal with it later. But no politician is perfect.
No.
I don't think, just like with police officers and a few other jobs, the type of people who want to be politicians typically aren't necessarily my type of people. They're very necessary people.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is a very different animal because he's not from the world of politics. But the type of people who want a career in politics aren't necessarily my type of people.
No.
Same as the people who want a career in the police force, not necessarily my type of people. So I don't look at politicians looking for the perfect guy, because there is no perfect guy, and everyone's human and everyone's fallible. But I believe that England can at least try to start some kind of road to recovery if there's drastic change. And drastic change comes in the form, right now, of Nigel Farage and his Reform Party. And I really do wish them all the best. And once my name is clear, which it will be by the end of this year, completely clear, especially once I win in Florida, I'm going to do my absolute best to make sure every young man out there, the people who typically don't vote and who have given up on politics, I see as the least I can do for my home country, which I'm very proud of. I saw the council elections and I was like, ooh, maybe
it was crushed.
Maybe he's got a chance. And with the English system, you only need a slight vote advantage above the other parties to win an overwhelming majority. And if he has an overwhelming majority of people who are going to do exactly as he says, then great. Oh, the European Bill of Human Rights, let's get rid of this. People will protest, but as I said with Donald Trump, you can ignore the idiots. What do you mean? You're taking away my human rights? No. We're taking away people's right to just show up here and say you can't deport them anymore. That's what we're doing, you know? There's a Trojan horse in this bill, and we need to burn the whole horse down to kill the soldiers inside.
Yeah.
So when they do put that up in the Commons, hopefully in 3 years' time, and every single reform member says, yep, we'll pull out the European Bill of Human Rights and get rid of it. I don't want any part of that.
Yeah.
I will be clapping.
Yeah.
And I hope he pulls it off. God knows.
Do you think it's going to be difficult because, you know, they're basically a startup? I mean, I've been in the offices.
Yeah.
I know the chairman, know Nigel very well. Interviewed now most of them. They are a little baby start. Their office is about the size of this room.
But their message has resonated with enough people. They may be a little baby startup, but as compared to 2 years ago, when maybe not a lot of people in the UK knew exactly who the Reform Party were.
Alright, we're gonna put this on pause. Head over to the markets and see what has been. Oh wait, hold on. I should use the other screen. Okay, I'm gonna use the other screen. Okay, I'm going into pattern playbook. Okay, so we'll start off with gold. Just to show you this one. To be fair, yeah, it's true. Let me see if I can complete that. Banner. Copy, and then if we go to screen share and browser, paste. Okay. Now if we put this underneath the camera. Jeez, say. Okay, here we go. Nice. Bet. Cool. All right, so. Pretty much gold. Yes. 1 hour. Oh my god, I feel so bad about this position now. I don't even want to say instant karma. But yeah. Looks like it, my G. Anyways, so market closed. Say we're consolidating. You can see we're consolidating. We're in this range. So the date I'm gonna put there is 07. Entry signal 1 hour. So why the 1 hour gets chosen is because price is consolidating and it gives us stronger confirmation. And then time of entry. midnight. So, okay, cool, that's done. And then reaction before the 4-hour close. So you can see we rejected price here. Bless me. Yeah, it's a lot. So in this case, we'll put price rejected support. So price rejected support, this candle. And this is what I'm talking about. So, you know, when I was saying that, you know, you have an idea and then it just gets refined. Like, this is just me making the refinements. So yeah, candle reaction before and after 4-hour close. So price rejected support. Let's be specific. Bear. Bearish candle rejected support, and then after that, we might have to make this longer. Okay, bearish bearish candle, rejected support, bearish candle filled the wick candle. Let me just check the size, and we can make it smaller again. Bearish candle rejected support. Key area. Bearish candle filled the wick of the previous candle whilst rejecting. I have to make this even smaller. Whilst rejecting. Oh my god. Damn. Okay, so we're gonna have to find a way to make this smaller. Okay, cool. Now, on to the next part. So, with this, right, what idea occurred to me is that, okay, because I'm trying to make sure I stick to the plan, right? So what does that mean? That means that, for example, when the daily trend is consolidating, the only time frame I should be looking at is the 1 hour time frame. If we're following the trend, for example, we're bullish, and let's say, for example, the entry is bullish, let's say, then okay, that means I need to look for, I can look on the 30-minute time frame because we're in trend and it's part of the plan. But let's say, for example, if we're bullish, but the opportunity that was missed, the move that was made was a bearish move, then my entry signal has to be 1 hour time frame because it's a counter trend trade, if that makes sense. Anyways, yeah, so now price action from previous candles before move. Okay, so pretty much it's here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my god. Consolidation happened. I need to put keywords. Okay, 1 second. So we're gonna make a new page. Duplicate. No, we're gonna call this. No. Add new sheet. So this new sheet is gonna be not keywords, key phrases. Key phrases sounds much cooler. Key phrases. Okay, I'm gonna give it my favorite text. This one. I definitely spelled definition wrong. Can you imagine if I still spell it wrong? Okay, let's see, bro. Okay, so the first word, BW. Consolidation happened. Lastly, one bullish candle with no bottom wick. I think last. Last one bullish candle had no wick. Okay, had no bottom wick. Okay. I mean, so for me, honestly, when I saw this, what came to my head, I was thinking, okay, price could fill that wick, you know. But yeah, I could go on and on about shoulda, woulda, coulda. The thing is that yeah, yeah, I think if it pushed higher, then I would have considered. I would have been more close to consider taking sells. Okay. Now the next move. Whoa. Alright, bet. So now the next move, we had this up here. So this one I think is pretty simple. I think, let's see if we're right, but pardon me. Yeah, price looks like it. Price managing to stay above this area. Of course, price was gonna push up. We don't even need to zoom in. You got 1. You got 2 over here. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I'm bugging. But yeah, anyways, 1, 2. 3 kind of. Look, when we're above we buy, above we buy. So price closed above. So this is the second one, the second move. Wrong thing. Time of entry 2 p.m. Oh yeah, I need to write down the time that the actual candle. Time of entry 2 p.m. Okay, I'm gonna need to do some stuff. Okay, let's turn that on. Let's see now. One second, I'm going to the toilet. Looks like I'm not going to the toilet. Oh my god, that is not good. Anyways, I'm okay. I shouldn't wet myself or anything, but anyways. So back to the time frame. So now we need to see what price done before. Price broke out. Price broke out of the consolidation. It accumulated. Price broke out the consolidation it accumulated since the bearish move. Price broke out the consolidation. Sorry, I got distracted now. Okay, here we go. Great. Price broke out the consolidation it accumulated since the bearish move. I'm gonna put KA. KA. Oh my god, man. Oh my god. Man, it's like as if I got bitten, bro. I keep itching my knee. Key area. Okay, cool. So anyways, key area. And then next, the previous candles, what did they do? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, after 4 hour close. Okay. Sorry. I need to finish this. Okay, so now price action from previous candle before the move. So price was ranging so from what we can see here, price was pretty much just rejecting both ends of support, both resistance, support and resistance. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Price rejected both support and resistance. Yeah, I can't lie. This feels more engaging and more proactive than what I was doing before, you know. Yeah, I mean, let's finish up first and then we'll go from there. So yeah, I mean, both scenarios. So as soon as the price close, stop loss 5, and in reasonable area, look at that, maybe the top of the wick. To be fair, actually no, it would have to be the support, the most tapped area. And look at that, 1 to 6. Wow, that is so sad. But again, just need to collect more data, then we'll be more. The thing is that, like I said, if it came up closer, then it would have been better. But yeah, anyways. So now the next one. And this is why it's possible to trade gold with a 50 pip stop loss. But yeah, this would. Anyways, so this has happened. Now, so we've got the data for gold. Now on to GJino. Let's see. So looking at GJ. Pardon me. Okay, this one is tricky. I'm not gonna lie. Alright, just bear with me 1 sec, guys. Need to stretch my legs are hurting. kind of feel better. So I was a bit hesitant on GJ. I was thinking about many ways how I can try to explain it, but I think this is the best way to put it. GJ, it looks like we're bullish on the daily, right? Look how bullish we look. And we can start from here, let's say here, yeah. Look. I mean, apart from this, I mean, we've just been bullish. But here's the catch, yeah. So as much as we look bullish, by the way, if anyone's new to trading and you're watching this, pretty much the bullish trend is you have a lower high. Yeah, even to be fair, I should have started from here. You have low, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. I was gonna be a dumbass and say that this is a blip, but yeah, like this is a lower high. Price rejected this area and created a higher high. Then we came down, created a higher low, higher high, higher low, and then wherever this wants to go. Higher low, wherever this wants to go. Haha. Anyways, that's me being cheesy. Okay, so anyways. Yeah, so here's the catch. If you notice, right, we are in a range. It's not a big range. Actually, this range has been going on for too long now. Ever since July 2024, so it's about to be 1 year. Wow. Crazy, man. Okay, so anyways, so yeah, we're consolidating. So this is where the catch is. So what I'm saying is, if you notice where we're at 199, right, when the daily's above, we push up. Whether it's 200, whether it's 201, we push up. So as price is under, we can try to look for sales, right? But there's no confirmation yet that this is the plan. So what does that mean? That means that from a bigger perspective, and I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, then comment, obviously drop a comment and let me know, but we're consolidating. That's what I'm taking the trend as on the daily time frame. So now, again, 1 hour time frame. Now we go to 1 hour, and then we try to identify perhaps where things went wrong. So fortunately for my time management, we only have to worry about one direction. One direction, no pun intended. And that's this way. So what has happened? Pretty much I would have preferred for us to come down a bit lower, but we didn't. Again, same thing like gold. We didn't manage to come lower. And then 2 o'clock we had this. And I'm seeing the candle exactly. So what we would say is wait, hold on. Oh, okay. So this one was more to do with this candle. Okay. So pretty much. Time of entry. Three AM. So this one, I'm trying to see if I can work fast. Yeah, so price closed bearish, but not strong enough to come down further. After the 4-hour close, so that's this one. No, it's not this one. After the 4-hour close. So usually when my legs are shaking like this, yeah, it means I'm getting restless. ES, entry signal. The engine mechanical is breaking the low of the previous candle. Is it previous candle that I saved the keyframes? Previous candle, yeah. Entry signal candle, close back, breaking below the previous candle. Okay, pushing up and clean up the loss from Friday bank holiday. Her section from previous candle. The veins are popping up my legs, so oh my god, it's not looking safe. Previous candle, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I did say if I start falling asleep, I'm gonna turn this off. So previous candle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not even a lot of. It's not even a lot of candles for the. Price consolidated. Oh my god, yeah, now I'm moving tired, guys. Oh my days, it is not good. I'm moving tired. Ayo. Guys, it is not good. Let's see. So previous candles. So I was supposed to put consolidated, but looking in the especially seeing as what's advice? Okay. Now Nasdaq. So Nasdaq is a counter trend trade. Oh my god. Yeah, no, the range on Nasdaq's too small, so it's fine. Okay, so far we got these to kind of work off of. I want to say world. Oh, I didn't do HH. Oh, bro, come on, man. to do. Okay. Okay, cool, basta, done. Alright, so guys, as you can tell, I'm falling asleep in front of the camera, so now it's time to go to sleep. But look at this price section. So the 4 hour is currently struggling to break below. So I think the buys is coming soon. I'm gonna get ready. I'm gonna put a tool there. I think I've already used up one alert, so maybe, yeah, guys, I need to pay for the premium food. Oh my god, man. Okay, anyways, yeah, so gold fine. GJ, sticky. Let's see how it plays out. But look, oh, if the 4 hour closes like this, I can't lie, it's gonna be lights out. It's gonna be lights out. But yeah, anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna weigh myself. I'm gonna get to studying and falling asleep at the same time. Thank you so much for watching. I'm just protecting myself from falling asleep. I've already fallen asleep enough as it is. And yeah, see you tomorrow.
Boy is Benny Hanna.
Views from the hills, dreams why we grinding. Chilling there, penning with guidance. Been a long year, still trying, still patient. Blessing my mama with greatness. Telling my friends we made it. Old notes, new faces. Same squad, different races. Views from the hills, dreams why we grinding. Chilling there, penning with guidance. Been a long year, still trying, still patient. Blessing my mama with greatness. Telling my friends we made it. Old notes, new faces. Same squad, different races. 765 or Lambo Cian. Dreams turn real, how we be. And for a long time been chasing. We ranging, can't fall to break out. Girls outside want make out. Can't give the time, don't chase cloud. Can't give them love, must earn it. Double the bags, you know we won't quit. Most of these hoes be toxic. They on the way, been watching. Liking the way we plotting. Feeling the vibes, or my mate. Music engraved, been through the phase. Singing our songs, they know the phrase. With passion, we rapping. With passion, we trapping. Dreams on dreams, you go big on big. Wanting it all, wonderful thing, it's what we like. All the time. Views from the hills, dreams why we grinding. Chilling there, penning with guidance. Been a long year, still trying, still patient. Blessing my mama with greatness. Telling my friends we made it. Old notes, new faces. Same squad, different races. Views from the hills, dreams why we grinding. Chilling there, penning with guidance. Been a long year, still trying, still patient. Blessing my mama with greatness. Telling my friends we made it. Old notes, new faces, same squad, different races.
Mr. Wills is hard to kill, ain't nobody murking me. He might have more money, but he'll never have more heart than me. Cartier frames I see through, so all of them lies I see through. Tried everything I could to keep you, but in the end I had to leave you. Sold some coke, I sold some butch, but growing weed